Hello. Can you hear me? My microphone was buzzing at me. Okay. I'm hoping you guys can hear me. This is not... Can anyone confirm if you can hear me or not? I hate technology sometimes. Really, it's me. I know it's me, but I'm waiting to see if someone can pop in. I got a flashing thing. Okay, it shows it's working. Yay. Okay, sorry. Minor little hiccup there. I wasn't talking to myself. But anyways, I feel a little freaked out since last week was like awful. But I'm going to get going. I see I have a new member, Janae, here. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And for anyone wondering, I really don't have many benefits other than you get new little emojis, and it's easier for me to see your comments because like yesterday I think I got 120,000 views or something. That's a lot of comments, and if I'm not on right when a comment's made, it's hard for me to miss them, but it's easier to see ones from members. So thank you for joining. It's really nice to feel supported, and that's really kind of you. Dawn says we'll need to catch the replay, but completed my 72-hour fast. Couldn't have done it without Element. Happy Wednesday to you all. Well, happy Wednesday to you too, Dawn. And I'm glad the Element was working well for you. I just took a glass of Element earlier, right before I walked 10,000 steps. I was timing myself to see how long it took me to walk 10,000 steps if I just sat and walked, or not sat, if I stood and walked at my sit-stand desk and just got 10,000 steps no matter what. So I had that to stay hydrated, but good for you on the 72-hour fast. And I see Patty's about to end her 72-hour fast. Yay. I am doing mine a week later. As I mentioned last week, it was an overwhelming vote to not do it over the holiday weekend. I didn't, honestly, it wouldn't have even been an issue for me to do it. But I just went with the majority. So this time we skipped the holiday but I love that you guys did what worked for you. So that's awesome. And I'm proud of both of you. And you did the Element, yay. But I'm starting mine this upcoming Sunday. So anyone that wants to join, 100% do it if you want to. I'm not trying to get people to do it if they don't want to. But then also, you can do whatever hours. I'm not even sure what time Sunday. Mine will probably be like 3 or 4-ish. And then I'll break my fast 3 or 4-ish on Wednesday, which is actually going to be my son's birthday, a week from today. And then I'll have like dinner and eat later in the day, snacks, and do all the birthday festivities as an update. So it actually worked out really well for me when we moved it. I was like, oh, that'll be a fun update on my son's 8th birthday. Hey, Mom. Mom, Joni is the moderator if you're new here, but hello. Patty's saying hi to Mom. Thank you for all the we can hear you. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I think I was just momentarily freaked out that I was going to have issues again this week. And I got in here early, but then my microphone started flashing at me. So long story short, thank you. Steffi said it's a little quieter than normal. I'm sorry about that. I wish I had more time to play around with it, but hopefully it works fine still. Hi, Shackney Spears. Hi, Judy. How long did it take you to lose all the weight with intermittent fasting? Thank you for the question, Hannah. So this is something that I just always like to preface that it is not the same for everyone. So don't focus just on your timeline of losing weight. For me personally, it was about 5 to 5.5 months. And then I have hung out at the 150, high 140s, low 150s since then, unless I do something like go on keto or a 5-day fast, I will dip below that. But my very happy spot without dieting, just enjoying my eating window, it took me 5 months to get there, and I've stayed there. So that's the short answer. The longer answer, though, would be that I know a lot of people that don't find they lost the weight as quickly or in such a short time period. I had about 35 to 40 pounds to lose. And I had just lost some weight before I started that, but it took me a long time to lose that weight because it was calorie restriction and diet bet and just not fasting. But there's people that, you know, it might take you longer to lose the weight or to lose as much weight, but you're not gaining weight or you're feeling better. There could be a lot of things that you're doing other than weight loss. So don't just solely focus on time or think because it happened for me that it's going to happen the same way for you. But I would focus on learning to fast, feeling good, and then tweak and wait for the results at that point. Famila Mia, I probably messed that up. There's on YouTube, I've never been a member of anyone's channel, so I'm not exactly sure exactly how, but there's like if you go to my YouTube page, I think somewhere there's a become a member and it's $1.99, $2.99 a month. I think are the two options. There might be a third one, but very low thresholds. Basically last year, YouTube gave me a big monetary incentive to turn it on, and I thought, well, I'll try it. And maybe someday I'll have like a members only Discord or something, but I'm too unorganized and too spread thin right now to know that. Hi, Patty in Georgia. Oh, I missed what Patty said to Mom, but it looks like it was nice, so thank you. Let's see. Stephanie Collins says, kids' first day of school today, making a taco bar for dinner, guac, cilantro, lime rice, corn salsa, all the yummy things. Yay, that sounds so fun. And I'm like excited for you. I'm imagining that you're going to get to enjoy it as a faster, like your eating window's going to be then. And I would very much look forward to that as well. If you have an amazing cilantro lime rice recipe, I would love it. My daughter loves cilantro lime rice packets, both of my daughters from Costco. And I'm trying to get them to make it in the rice cooker, which is super simple, but they like how limey it is. I haven't been able to recreate it quite as much at home. If you have a really good recipe, I'd love it. But I hope you enjoy your dinner with your kids on their first day. Patty says, do you have a place where you share recipes? Interested in butter chicken. Actually, my butter chicken recipe that I follow and how I make the meal, I have a video on my Intermittent Fasting Foodie channel. I used to make cooking videos, but I don't as much anymore. I might share a little bit more on my Grocery Addict channel, but my Pinterest account, I pin a lot of, that's where I get, you know, most of my recipes. I'm going to see if I can find my page here to share with you guys. Let's see. I'll put it in the comments here. Copy and pasting it. So this is my Pinterest page. I pin recipes all the time, and then that's where I go to find recipes. I'm also horrible about, like, if I find the butter chicken recipe, I make adjustments to it. So if I pin a recipe, I use half the amount of butter that the recipe that she found uses, and then I have certain ways that I make the sides. But I do have a video on exactly how I make butter chicken on my Intermittent Fasting Foodie YouTube. Let's see. Matthew, happy Wednesday to you too. Quana, I'm definitely joining. Well, thank you. I hope well, I guess I was thinking memberships, but maybe the 72-hour fast. That's probably what you're talking about. And I think it's really fun to join the 72-hour fast. It's really fun, especially if you're like interested in doing it, but you haven't done them before. I'm not sure for you personally, but it's a great way to do it, knowing that there's people all over probably the world that join in on these and that we're in it together. Like, it's not just me, other people are doing it. It's very fun. I think they're fun. I actually, in June, I did a 5-day fast. I wouldn't have called that fun. I'm glad I did it. But I actually enjoy the 72-hour fast. Like, that to me feels like a really good sweet spot for me. So I don't know which one you're joining, but welcome either way. Good afternoon, Janelle. Hope you're doing well. Paige says, hello, what happened to your Rebound challenge? Are you doing a video on it? Well, I failed the challenge. I have the rebounder. The person that uses it the most in my house is my son. He uses it every single day, like a lot, and my dog likes to sleep on it. I still haven't made it a part of my my daily routine. I Every time I do it, I just feel goofy. It's like a very self-conscious thing. People this summer have always been around. I think that was a surprise to me how much it bothered me. It's in my living room by the TV, how much it bothered me being around other people doing it. Um, and it's very much like a self-conscious thing. I like it. I now my kids, today is their third full day of school that they've had. I want to bring it into part of my morning routine, which I'm still trying to figure out when no one's around. I don't know why I have such a roadblock. I love my family. I know they love me, but I don't want to do it around them. It was very hard for me, especially not feeling confident in it. I didn't like doing it around my family. So that was my biggest roadblock. And maybe I should make a video on like goals and failing at them and just not letting it defeat you. But I definitely didn't rock it like my walking challenge or 75 hard where I stuck with it because I said I was going to. It was kind of a flop for me. Not because I don't like it or I don't want to, but it was embarrassing. Karen says, hey Jackie, how are you? Doing great. How are you? Loved your burrito video and Reese's. Okay. First of all, people hate the way I say Reese's, which I understand because I get it that it's Reese's Pieces, but I cannot be the only one. If anyone else in the world says Reese's Pieces, especially if you're in the Midwest, maybe it's a Midwest thing or a Michigan thing. Mom, how would you say it? But Reese's is how I've said it my entire life. Reese's is how anyone in my family, anyone that I can think of says it. But I'd be interested to know if I'm the only one that says Reese's Pieces. But people didn't like it on the video. I'll start Sunday with you on the 72. Yay, we're going to Austin next week, so it'll be one less thing to worry about. Or one less thing to do, worry about food. But is that going to be hard to travel? Like total kudos to you. I know Dawn does it, does a longer fast when traveling. That's like my favorite time to not do long fasts, but good for you. Especially if you don't have like things, or you've been there before and you know what's in store, but I hope it goes amazing. And yay, we're fasting together again. Oh no, I'm losing my comments. Pretty Privileged Society says, how tall are you? I'm 5'10". Francisco says shalom to everyone. I hope I said that right. I think it's a positive thing, so same to you. Constipation, what recommendations in ADF window? Well, I just know taking magnesium is what helped me with constipation, and it wasn't necessarily ADF. I still was doing mainly OMAD. I went from like the moment I opened my eating window, having to use the restroom and dealing with that early in my fasting journey, to then like the pendulum swung the other way and having constipation issues. Then I started taking a daily magnesium supplement in my eating window, and eventually I became regular. I stopped taking that once I was taking or drinking Element, which has less magnesium than the pill I was taking. But since I was already regular and then I was having that Element, it kept me regular, so I haven't had any issues. But taking a magnesium supplement, I think it was 400 units or milligrams. I can't remember. That might be a giant amount. So don't, like, whatever the daily serving of a bottle of magnesium was is what I took. That got me over it. But it wasn't strictly ADF. So if other people, and making sure I was drinking a lot of water. That was the other thing, is making sure I drink water and the magnesium. That helped me get over constipation. But I wasn't strictly ADF, so I don't know if there's other things that people have experienced, but that's what helped me. There's my Pinterest. I don't know why. Oh, it showed up twice for fasting, or Facebook and YouTube. Let's see. Shella? Sorry, I'm probably saying that wrong. Do you consider drinking black coffee with sweeteners such as Splenda, or having sugar-free energy drink breaking fast? So I personally wouldn't have them as a clean fast. I guess it, especially if you're learning to fast, and this is harder to articulate in a quick sentence. I think if you're learning to fast, you should definitely clean fast. That's how I did it the first 3.5 years. When I lost the weight, when I learned to fast, when I built my fasting muscle. And now, as someone that knows what a clean fast looks like and feels like, I can know if I have Splenda or I have a sugar-free energy drink, how is that going to make me feel? And then I can tell, okay, it makes me feel worse. I'm not going to have it. Or I still feel the same as if I didn't have it. It feels the same as clean fasting. Then you can go forward. But I had 3.5 years of knowing what a clean fast felt like, where I would avoid the Splenda, the sugar-free flavored drinks. So baseline, I would learn to fast, clean fast, and avoid those things. Then, once you're really good at fasting and you know what a clean fast feels like and you're finding success, if you want to play around with it, which for me, I was like, on a road trip, I'm going to have a Diet Dr. Pepper. I do feel hungry. If I take a Diet Dr. Pepper, which has probably aspartame in it or, an artificial sweetener, I feel worse when I drink that. It makes me hungry. So I know if I have a diet beverage, whether there's calories or not, it's going to make me feel hungry. Then I was playing around in one of my 72-hour fasts. I was experimenting with Element, and I did the flavored Element. While I still felt good doing that, it wasn't the same as having Diet Dr. Pepper. Now, believe me, I would love to be able to drink Diet Dr. Pepper and feel as good fasting. It's just not the way it is. And the only way that I know that and know that I feel fine drinking the flavored Element is because I know what really good fasting feels like for me. And then I experimented from there. So that's the way I'd approach it, is I would learn to fast with a clean fast and avoid those things. And then if you want to try to have the sugar-free or a flavored something, see how you feel after you already know what really clean fasting feels like. But on a very strict basis, would I have those clean fasting? No. Hello, Nancy. Oh, you're so nice. Hello, Huda. I hope I said that right. Nancy says, jump on it when you're alone to some gangster rap. That is 100% my plan. Probably not gangster rap, but maybe. I mean, I have some songs that I really like jamming out to. Is get a rhythm and something that I know where I feel confident that I can learn it without feeling like a fool, because there's like just different jumps, or you go side to side or do different things, and I don't want to learn it in front of people. I don't know. Huda said, I'm sad to say that I'm at a point where fasting stopped working for me and I don't know what to do. Any advice? I would love to have some context, like what stopped working. Are you, you're not losing weight anymore? You're not feeling good? You're getting headaches? What was working for you? And by working, what was the success? Like, I guess I don't understand what's not working or what you're feeling like is a sign of not success. And then I can kind of go from there if you have any further input, I guess. Yay, you say it like me. Good. I'm not alone. I honestly, I felt a little, what's that called? Where people gaslight. I was like, are they gaslighting me? Am I the only one in the world that makes me feel like I say this? But I just think it's kind of funny. Buddha says it the same too. Oh, okay. So Kieran's gonna do the 72 and then enjoy OMAD up and down days in Austin. Okay, good. So I'm glad you'll get a little of that foodie adventure in you. My mom says she says Reese's the same way. I know it's not correct. Kind of like I pronounced sherbet. Hi, Sheila. I am having a good day. I hope you are too. And I hope you have a great fast and a great eating window. And thank you for being around. Let's see. Huda gave me some more information. I actually stopped suffering from constipation by eating 2 kiwis a day with their skin on. Wow, that's really interesting. I suffered for a couple years, and for weeks now I'm regular to twice a day. That is really interesting. I've never heard of that. But yeah, actually probably eating just more fruit in general probably is a good idea. But I've never heard of that. I love kiwis. I just have never had their skin. Was it hard to learn to eat those with the skin on? But thank you for sharing. I love when you guys give each other information. Francisco says papaya is very good for constipation, coconut water to stay hydrated. Oh, great advice. Thank you. And again, I think fruit in general is probably good for constipation. Mr. Fairway says, I just got my blood test results. My A1C is we're now 5.6 from 7.1. Thank you for all your help. Yay, that is amazing. Congrats on seeing progress. And I love that it's like irrefutable medical like proof. I know all of my blood tests improved. Well, I wish I had blood tests before I started fasting. I just never thought I'd share it. But I had pretty good blood tests that no longer showed fatty liver. And then they continued to improve the second time I had blood results. And it's hard to tell someone that they're like hurting themselves when they continue to show improved health markers. So good for you. I can't remember what A1C is supposed to be. And it's definitely outside my wheelhouse, but I know lower is an improvement. So good for you. Let's see. Joe says, do you recommend exercising in the eating window or while fasting, working out 3 to 4 days a week? So I am not like a giant workouter. I like walking. I like to get long walks in, and that is my number one. I would like to have like a kettlebell routine or the rebounder or a mix of them. I'm working on that. It's a struggle I have to do things like that consistently. I love walking. That's why I can easily get it in. But I like to do any physical activity that I do, even if it's yard work or moving something while I'm fasting. I just feel like I'm much more energetic, and I kind of get like when I eat I get kind of like that, like I want to rest feeling once I eat. So for me personally, I like to do my workouts while I am fasting, and I know a lot of people do it that way. Even when I did my 50,000 steps in a day, which is almost a marathon of walking. I was trying to think. I would 100%, I did that while I was fasting, and I did that because I knew I'd just feel better staying fasting. So I like to do physical activity while fasting. I've never had any issues with it. So I guess that's my point of view. Sheila says, I use no flour or sugar, no flour. Oh no, what are we talking about? I don't know what that's in reference to. I'm sorry. Somebody said, this weekend is hubby's B-day, a good friend's baby shower, a work banquet, all in 2 days. Trying to quiet the old diet brain and reassure myself it's okay to have a fun weekend and get back to it. Absolutely. And here's the thing, Stephanie. If you track your fast like I do, you're going to sleep. You might get shorter fasts. You might have longer eating windows, but you're not going to undo everything. You're not going to suddenly forget how to do fasting. And when you enjoy the weekend, what happens for me, and I actually have a video where I show a down day and up day, and then the next morning it's a reflection. When I tend to have those more longer eating windows, I actually look forward to getting back to my normal. I feel better when I have my normal eating window, and having times that are outside of that. Yes, you get the freedom and the fun to enjoy all those events, but you might not end up feeling as good, and it might just like strengthen your resolve of, yeah, I actually feel better when I do fasting too. So it gets you excited to get back into your routine. But absolutely, you are not going to mess up anything by having a longer eating window and a shorter fast. So don't think just because it's not your normal, you shouldn't track it. Just keep punching it, keep your streak going. And it's okay if you have a shorter fast and longer eating window. Life happens. Make fasting fit your life. Don't make your life fit a certain fasting routine. Still, I'm sorry, I still don't know what that's in reference to. My brain not showing up. Patty says, while losing, did you hit a low weight and then after time settled into a higher weight? If so, how many pounds? I've been up about 5 pounds from 3 years ago and can't seem to get back to the low weight. Yes, my low weight is only achieved, like I can get into the low 140s when I do keto, when I do the longer fast. The 150 ish that I'm at. And I don't weigh myself daily because it really fluctuates and it kind of drives me crazy. But I still can wear all the same clothes. I can wear everything. I'm in the 150-ish range when I don't do my dieting. So the lower point is when I do something like long fasts, I'll hit that point again. Or if I do keto, I'll hit that point again. If I do when I ate calorie restriction, when I did my, what was it? I ate the same meal for 30 days last October. That ended up being a calorie deficit just by what I picked. It wasn't really intentional, but my weight dipped there where every single day I was in a calorie deficit. That kind of stuff I get lower. I don't want to have that be like what I do on a purposeful basis. So I'm okay being the 5 pounds heavier without the dieting. I would rather that than watch, but that's like a personal choice. Yes, I could, close my eating windows more, only eat dessert a couple days a week, or only on Sundays, or, whatever. I could do things that would get my weight to that lower point, but to me, the trade-off isn't there, and I'm happy where I'm at, heavier than the lowest point I've reached with fasting. But for me, it's a trade-off. Patty says, I'm 5'2", so the 5 pounds shows. And, in fairness, at 5'10", it doesn't show as much. If I drop, 7 pounds from doing something, or I gain 7 pounds, it's not as big of a fluctuation on, I have 8 more inches that it spreads on. Let's see. Monique says, my hunger hormone has me so hungry. I stopped fasting in July and gained 12 pounds. Please help me. Let me see here. I see Karen has some, and then I'll go off. I'm going to read what she says, and then we'll go. So Monique, A1C shows their blood sugar for the past 3 months, a marker for diabetes. I think that's a question. Did Monique talk about her A1C? I feel like I'm missing maybe some comments here. Sorry. But let's see here. Monique, sometimes that happens. I reach for sparkling water till you get your goal. Jackie's video illustrates as well. Stay busy. So if you are getting hungry and you stop fasting because you're hungry, what I would personally do, yes, I totally agree with Karen that your staying busy is going to help. But if you are trying, and I know nothing about your history, but if you're trying to like, oh, Jackie does 1 meal a day, I want to do 1 meal a day, and then you're too hungry to get there, I would not try to go right to 1 meal a day or a 20-hour fast. It's okay if you're going from eating 3 times a day to learn to fast 15 hours and then go from 15 to 16 and 16 to 17, like incrementally build up to it to where you're not battling hunger for several hours. Now, I say that as someone that ripped the Band-Aid off and I just dealt with it until I was like, I'm pretty headstrong, and when I decide to do something, I usually just do it. But I know that's not, ripping the Band-Aid off is not what everyone wants to do. So I would 100% try to build your fasting muscle and start where you're not battling it for 5 hours on end. You could start smaller and incrementally build it up. Also, one thing that has really helped me when I feel hungry is staying busy is amazing. But also, if I've been drinking ice water, make myself a fresh cup of coffee. If you don't like coffee, make yourself a fresh cup of tea. If you've been drinking tea, get an iced tea, make an ice water, like kind of change up the beverage, make something new. That can be helpful. I don't know how long you were fasting and the 12 pounds, what that is, but it seems like maybe fasting was helpful to you, because I know without a doubt that if I stopped fasting, yes, I would gain weight back, because I spend most of my day not eating. If I suddenly start eating all day long, I still like to eat volume, I would gain weight back. So I see Karen, I don't think she meant to put Monique in there, so I was like, okay. Um, yes. Sorry, distracted. But that's what I would do is I would 100% start at a point where you're not battling it for hours, get yourself a new beverage, stay busy, and then build the fasting muscle up incrementally. Huda says, I can fast up to 2 days easily, but I stopped losing weight and even started gaining a lot of weight. I fast almost 22 hours almost every day, so I should be able to eat in my 2-hour window. Do you think I might be eating too much? I eat lots of fruits and veggies in every window. Honestly, could you eat too much in a 2-hour eating window? Absolutely. I don't really know. So you easily fast 2 days, but I stopped losing weight and I even started gaining a lot of weight. I fast 22 hours almost every day, so I should be able to eat in my 2-hour eating window. It's really hard to know. When you say you fast 2 days easily, what does it look like after you fast 2 days? Are you only having a 2-hour eating window? Because then you may not be eating enough, is my first thought. Could that be an issue? Are you eating high volume but of low calorie foods if you're eating just mainly fruits and vegetables? I guess this is one reason I don't like to do personal coaching, is because I don't know exactly what you're doing and how to remedy it. But yes, I think you could potentially be eating too much. That's something that you might have to like analyze and reflect on for yourself. But I would also wonder, based on your comments, if you can fast easily up to 22 hours and have a 2-hour eating window, or excuse me, if you can easily fast up to 2 days and have a 2-hour eating window, I hope you're not having a 2-hour eating window after a 2-day fast. I hope you're having a longer refeed, and your body, if you're not refeeding it properly or long enough, could be like feeling as if it's in starvation mode, and the long-term effects of not properly refeeding after a 2-day fast could be it's not going to let go of the weight that you have stored. Again, this is all like memory from reading books, so I'm probably not saying that properly or scientifically, but I would really, do an honest evaluation of what you're eating, how much you're eating, and if you're eating enough after a longer fast. And then if you say, oh yeah, I'm definitely eating enough, then maybe you do have to evaluate how much you're eating in a 2-hour eating window. And I know that's like not the most fun thing to consider, but I mean, there are times I could eat more than what I eat in my eating windows, but I have to make a conscious decision of like, okay, well, you're satisfied, close the eating window. If I do gain weight, I am going to have to evaluate what's in my eating window. It's just something that I'd have to do. I think someone's at my front door. If you hear Emmy, sorry. Kimberly says, how many down days do you do a week? 36, then an up day. I do at most 1 a week. When I was losing weight, I for sure did 1 a week. Now I do it probably once every 2 weeks on average lately, especially over summer. We were busy doing things. But I'd say when I was losing weight, I definitely did it once a week. But my average is probably 10 to 14 days. Monique doesn't have the diabetes, but that was based on the mix-up. Hi, Jan. Thank you for being here. Mountain Yarrow says, thanks for doing your chats. It's fun listening and being a part of this. Well, thank you for being here. I enjoy doing the lives when I can get them up and running well. Technology is not always my friend, but I'm glad we're all here. Angelica says, new to the chat, well, welcome. Do vitamins break the fast, or can I have them in the morning? Birth control pills don't count, right? And can diet soda be drank, or does that wait till the fast break? Well, I kind of talked about this earlier. One, I am not an authority on medicine, so I just want to say that, obviously. I don't take anything on a daily basis outside of my eating window, like birth control or medicine. I don't take anything. So I would talk to your doctor, and honestly, I would prioritize that over a perfect fast. So if your doctor says you should take any medicine, including birth control or your vitamins or whatever, the vitamin that I take is Gem. It's like a real food one. I take that in my eating window. Is it preference to take it outside of the eating window and remember to take it? That's kind of a personal preference. Would I consider that a clean fast? No. I still think clean fasting is the way to go if you want to learn to fast. That would not be diet soda. I would have that in the eating window, and that's the way I did it for the first 3.5 years. With that being said, if I had a headache, and I know this is where I'm like, reminder, I'm not a medical expert. I would still take something for my headache while I was fasting. It was more important to me to get rid of the headache than it was to be a perfect faster. And that's where you have to like make personal choices. And remember, not a medical expert. So people say you're not supposed to take things on empty stomachs. If I've had antibiotics, I'll ask my doctor, I fast, this says take with food. Is it about nausea? Is it something I actually have to do? And I have that discussion with them on a one-on-one basis, depending on whatever the medicine is. I also, if they say take it in the morning with food, if I'll then ask, like, if it has to be taken with food, can I wait till my eating window? And I haven't had any problems having those discussions with my doctor, but I certainly wouldn't take advice from me on that. I don't want to get you pregnant, basically. But the diet soda, I wouldn't do if your objective is to learn to fast. I would 100% stick with a clean fast as best as you can. Medicine and vitamins and that kind of stuff is kind of like a murky area that you have to play around and see what works for you in your life. But I definitely wouldn't do the diet soda until your eating window, especially if you're learning to fast. For me, even as someone that's been fasting for 4 years, if I have a diet pop while I'm fasting, it makes me hungry. It does not help me fast longer. And I say that as someone that likes diet pop. Like, I'm not an anti-diet pop person. I like it. I love Coke Zero Vanilla. And if it was easy for me to have while fasting, I would be telling you that. Progress and transformation. Hello from New York City. Hello. You're welcome, Monique. I know I kind of rambled, and I hope that was helpful to you, but good luck. It's a lot of trial and error. If you haven't read the book, like all the books that I love to talk about, Fast, Feast, Repeat, Delay, Don't Deny, I would definitely do that. I think that gives a lot of information and like good background in your resolve to keep with fasting. But good luck to you. Thanks for being on here. Kimberly Eggleston says, on your update, do you eat all day or do you still eat in a longer window? Mostly my updates are shorter than all day. So like 6-7 hours is the usual. Like I'll have lunch and dinner. And that's mainly because by the time I have lunch and dinner, I am so full that I cannot and don't want to eat anymore. It's just like, yeah, because I don't eat all day anymore, it feels like, okay, eating 2 meals makes me feel just pretty full. However, my last update I did, it was almost 12 hours long. And that's because the first day my kids went to school, I made them something that they really like for breakfast, but I also love. So I had like, once they went to school, I had a little celebration breakfast by myself in peace, and it was amazing. And then we went out to lunch with my husband. The first day was a half day. And then I ended up eating dinner later that night. And it was just more like the day it worked well to have a long eating window. But the next day I was like, dang, I ate for so long yesterday. It just I didn't feel as good as I normally do when I wake up after OMAD. So it was like, yeah, I enjoyed the 12-hour update, but I don't want to do that regularly. So normally, to answer your very specific question, I do 6 or 7 hour eating windows because it works well and I'm pretty darn full after that point. But when I want to, I don't hesitate to have the even longer than that update. And that's what my most recent one was. Whew, well, I caught up and I actually have to go get my kids. It's past 2. I have a little more time this year, just based on where pickup is, and the pickup line has changed a little bit from last year. but I still have pickup duty. So it was great talking with you guys. I'm glad it worked out, and I will see you guys live next Wednesday. I'll have shorts out every day until then. And don't forget, if you want to do the community fast, I will put this on the community tab. Sunday to Wednesday is when I plan to do it, and I'd love for you to join me if you're interested. So have a great week. Thank you for joining. Enjoy your eating window today if you haven't had it yet. And good luck, or congrats to anyone that's done the 72-hour fast breaking it today. Woohoo! Bye, guys.